So my name is Stephanie Epstein. I am the president of the Ukulele Kids Club. I'm also a music therapist, a pediatric music therapist down at Holtz Children's Hospital in Miami, Florida. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Ukulele Kids Club, the UKC is a nonprofit that donates ukuleles to pediatric music therapy programs, not only across the country, but around the world. As well as other organizations to help medically fragile and disenfranchised youths. So we have also donated to juvenile detention facilities, to immigrant detention facilities, I remember a few years ago, down to Houston for when Hurricane Harvey hit, for the Hurricane Harvey healing days. So a number of different areas. The really great thing is that these ukuleles are not only donated to the program, but those ukuleles are then given to the children for them to be able to take home and keep. So that's really what kind of makes this a little bit different than a lot of other different organizations that donate instruments to music therapy programs, because the instruments actually become the children's for them to take home and keep, like I said. And they are beautiful instruments. This is the case that they come in. And they are really beautiful mahogany instruments. They also have the colored string system from Aquila. All the strings are donated. You can purchase those strings from Aquila directly from their website, but the colored strings just make things a lot easier, not only for kids, but even for, teenagers, adults, anyone really who's learning. Because you can just say something like, if you're teaching the C chord, you can just say blue 3, instead of saying, okay, you're going to go on the 4th string down on the 3rd fret right there. It makes it really easy to be able to teach very quickly in a clinical setting. One of the things that I really wanted to share with you guys today are the resources that we have available for music therapists. So this is an area that we have been developing over the past few years, and was really a way for that an area that I was passionate about, because there really wasn't a whole lot of resources out there for beginning ukuleles, beginner ukulele. A lot of them were trying to teach the G chord way too soon, in my opinion. Just really having a difficult time finding things that I'd be able to utilize with my patients and families in a really quick way. So can you guys see my screen? Awesome. So because there was this lack of resources from a therapeutic setting, again, there's a lot of beginner ukulele educational resources out there, not a whole lot of therapeutic resources out there. So I started creating things, and I started presenting at conferences, and people would always ask me to share my resources. So I was sending out the same things over and over and over again. So I said, why don't we just create this resource portal where anybody can come on at any time and just take what they need. I am a huge fan of not reinventing the wheel. If something I'm doing can help somebody else, I want them to have it. If something anybody is doing can help, I want us to be able to have it, because at the end of the day, it's benefiting our patients and families. That's the end goal. That's really what we're doing. So we created this resource portal. So you can access it from the ukc.org, which is our website. And if you go onto the top at resources, you can go right onto the UKC resource portal. So actually, I'll show that first, and then I'll talk about our UKC at home piece. So the UKC resource portal, again, like I said, it is open and completely free to anyone at any time, not only music therapists, but also the patients and families that we work with. So on here, there are, the first that I'll show is the general resources. So just some basic, chord charts, and these are PDFs too. So you can pull them up on an iPad, you can print them out, give them out, whatever. So the other document that I use a lot, and I utilize a lot in sessions, now we're going to be formatting to make it a little more user-friendly over the next month or so, is this ukulele songs grouped by chords. So one of the things that I always ran into was if I have a patient who can only really utilize one finger, or they're just not ready for 2-finger or 3-finger chords, there's only so much you can do, and only having them strum just a chord gets really boring for them really fast. So I wanted to find what are all the different songs that we can play if we can just play the C, A minor, and a modified F chord. So that's why I created this resource to be able, goodness, our Wi-Fi is terrible here. I apologize. When it's ready, I will show it to you. But it has a lot of songs grouped by the chords that they use. So if you have a patient who can only play C, A minor, and the modified F chord with one finger, there's a whole page of songs that all utilize those chords. Either it's the full song, or it's modified to utilize those chords. So, if you ask a kid like, "Oh, like what song do you want to learn?" and they're kind of like, "Oh, I don't know." It's really easy to be able to just pull up this list and say, hey, here's a bunch of songs that you can already play. And that way they can just look at it and pick, and it's really easy to find. So this is the page that I use most often. Like I mentioned, the 3-chord C, A minor, and you can use that modified F chord. And a whole bunch of songs that all utilize this. And 9 times out of 10, the kids and the teens and young adults that we work with are going to know at least one of these songs. Again, this document also came out of necessity that, you look up beginner ukulele songs and it's either like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star or Oh, Susanna. And, a 14-year-old or even, a 9, 10-year-old really aren't going to like either of those options. So I felt it was really important to be able to create these types of documents so that we can better serve our patients. So also on here are song sheets. So so the song sheets are all chord charts. However, some of them are simplified. So sometimes when they have like super complicated chords, we'll simplify them. They're also color coded to go along with the color coded strings. So that can make life a bit easier for all of you as well. So right now, there are 190 different songs on here, always uploading new things. So they're all on there. And like I said, some of them are adapted. So, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? There's some funky chords in there, but we can adapt it to make it easier for our patients. If you have a patient who wants to play that song. There are also tablature. And again, this is all color coded as well. So something super complicated like, the Peanuts, Christmas Time is Here, but also something super simple like Frere Jacques. Again, my Wi-Fi is being very slow, so you can check this out and peruse at your own leisure. Oh, this is the Legend of Zelda. So if you have any video game fans out there, one of my patients loved Zelda and wanted to figure this out. So we sat and figured it out together and created the tablature. And so all of these, and again, if you create resources that you'd like to share, you can upload and share them as well. All of these chord charts and tablature charts are created utilizing the Fret Tab and Chordet apps. So these are programs that you can download right here. Again, completely free and open. And we use these to create tabular. It's kind of like a font interface system, very similar to like Sibelius, that you can pull the notes on. There's keyboard shortcuts, so you can type really quickly. You can then do the chord charts. You can do the chord charts like this. You can do the fret, the tablature like this, that are all color coded. You can then also, you can mix and match. So you can do the chord chart, the chord diagram. You can do the tablature. You can do bar lines so it looks like regular music. And you can also put in the font. So again, there's lots and lots of different options that we can utilize for our patients to make it as clear and wonderful as possible. The last thing that I wanted to talk about resources for our patients and families, or even for ourselves as music therapists, is the UKC at Home program. So again, completely free and open. So on the UKC at Home portal. The resource portal is listed here. We are partnered with UKULELES with James Hill that you can take on-demand ukulele lessons. And this is everything from very beginner lessons all the way up through. There are courses on here for music therapists and music teachers on teaching the ukulele. There's more complicated classes. So there's lots and lots of different classes and training opportunities that not only our patients can utilize, but we can utilize as music therapists as well. We are partnered with the Berklee College of Music and the Center for Music Therapy to be able to offer free virtual music therapy, music and wellness ukulele groups. There actually was a news story on last night. If you guys check out the UKC's social media, there's links to it that show that. So that program's been going for a few months now, and it's really cool. So it gives our patients an opportunity to still engage with music therapy, maybe who wouldn't be able to afford private music therapy sessions or don't have access to them in their area. They can sign up for these music therapy sessions completely free of cost through Berklee. And the last thing that we have is our UKC Academy. So these are live Zoom classes that are taught by music therapists and ukulele instructors around the world, some really incredible ukulele teachers as well. And all of the past classes are on here as well. There are longer courses. So there was like a 6-week course that from the very beginning of all the way up through more complicated. There's Chris. He taught one with us I think it was last year. There are a few in Spanish. If you are interested in learning how to use that Cordet and Fret Tab programs, I did a full tutorial lesson along with the resource portal, so you can watch that. There are Christmas. There are so these are our longer ones. So from zero to playing, as well as the ukulele foundations. This is getting into more difficult finger picking, more different strumming patterns, things like that. And again, all of these are on YouTube, completely free, and really wonderful for if you have a patient who maybe is getting really good, want to really challenge themselves. That's a great place to point them to. But I've also gone back and watched a lot of these and done them myself because there's a lot of tips and tricks in there for ukulele players that, one of those like makes you sound like you're really good and you really know what you're doing. But there's something as simple as just, 1 or 2 finger little licks that you can add into your playing to be able to add in all those little extra things. So again, all of these are on the website on the UKC resource portal, the UKC at home, to be able to access at any time, not only for our patients and families, but also for us as music therapists. So in this last minute or two, I want to open up to questions. I know that was rapid fire, a lot of information really quick. So I will put the website in here if it's not already.
They also have a fundraiser that's going on starting next week, right, Stephanie?
Yes. So we have our music mile, the UKC Music Miles. So if anyone wants to sign up, you can still sign up. It's just a virtual run wherever you are. It's a choose your own adventure type situation. You can walk, run, bike, swim, pogo stick, hopscotch, whatever you like. A mile, 5K, 10K. You can also sit on your couch and pretend and get the t-shirt and support the organization. It's kind of, like I said, a choose your own adventure type situation. But yes, that's starting next week through October 20th through October 30th. As well as we have a number of different fundraisers throughout the year as well.
All right. Well, also on their website would be the link to all their socials. So they're very active on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. So they're great. You need to know them. They're there for you. So thanks, Stephanie, for your time. Stephanie's great. If you want to learn more about Stephanie's life, I even have a whole podcast episode where I interviewed her and we talked about all of that stuff. So there's more if you want to dig deep.
I'll pop my my email address as well as my music therapy Instagram handle into the chat. My email is just stephanie@theukc.org. My Instagram is @steph_Epstein. So please feel free to shoot me an email, send me a message on Instagram, and I'm more than happy to get you guys any information that you'd like or get you involved. I saw someone ask how they can get involved with the UKC. So yeah, please give me a shout and we can chat further.